Hello guys, Mr. ATC once again back to you for another idea of housing, and today we're gonna create an easy pallet beach bar. And for this you will only need 2 large pallets. If you are new to our community, I would advise you to subscribe just right here, then click on the bell to receive a notification every time we are sharing new content with you. And in the video description you will also find some links giving you access to the tools we've been using here, so feel free to check this out. In a few days we will be also adding for you a free 3D plans in case you would like to do it yourself. Alright, enough with the talking, let's make it happen. As I told you at the beginning, I will be using some large pallets, which will make it much easier for us and avoid that we cut too much. Keep in mind that they are very large. They are almost measuring 2 meters long, almost. And this, on the other side, this pallet is a little bit higher. And that will be the one I will be using in order to create the sides. The fact that this pallet on the left is a little bit higher than the one on the right side is not really a problem. I will just here create a different design. So let's start by dividing this large pallet on the left side in 2. And for this I will be cutting the middle side here, as you can see, with my reciprocating saw. Keep in mind that this bar here will be mainly for outside, but you can also use the same pallets in order to create something inside as well. So as you can see, when we are done, I have 2 smaller pallets that I will be able to use on each side. So now I'm gonna place them in order to take a look to see the best way to dispose this design. Alright, so I think that this way it should look pretty cool. After that I will be using some of my pallet slots coming from some leftover I have in my workshop in order to cover each of the holes. I will first take one, place it over one hole, then take the measurement in order to make the cut using my miter saw. Alright, so now let's move to the miter saw. Note that I'm using here the miter saw, but you can cut using a jigsaw or even a plunge saw or even a hand saw if you have one, or if you doesn't have any power tool basically. Here I'm gonna remove the sides in order to place the middle side on the ground to start cover it up. Before placing the different slot, I will be adding on each side, but really at the edge, a little bit of wood glue. Then after that, placing the slot and using my nail gun to fix them. Then after that I will be using the same process to cover the entire pallet. If I can give you an advice when you're using the nail gun, try to make sure that you are really at the edge of each slot before fixing. Now that this part is done, I'm gonna remove it and keep on going with the other ones. And as you may have seen on the video here, the holes on those ones are much bigger than the first one. So what I will do here is to cut some pallet leftover, some pallet slot actually, and place them in order to fill up those big holes. And this is actually the first step, but we are not done yet, because after that we will also need to cover the small holes. And as you can see here, it looks pretty much like a normal pallet. Before using my nail gun, I will be adding a little bit of wood glue just to straighten each of them. Then when I'm done here, I'm gonna go ahead and cover those holes too. I'm gonna pretty much do the same thing and use the same method that I've been doing with the large pallet. When I'm done with the side panels, I'm bringing the large one back to the middle and putting the side ones in place in order to add my hinges. In that sense, I'm trying to find the best way to make sure I can close those panels when the bar is not used. And in that way, it will be of course easier to store it. Look at this. This is exactly the result that I would like to have at the end when I'm done with the bar. Then now we can start working on the tables. But before the tables, I would like to close the small gap here on the side, as you can see. So I will be again using some slats that I will cut using my miter saw, applying as before a little bit of wood glue to make sure it stays steady, then closing it using my nail gun, then trying again to open and close the doors, the panels, to see if it's still good. Alright, so now phase 2. I'm gonna be using some leftover steel from the pallet slot that I have in my workshop. Here I'm taking the dimension for the long ones that will be acting as support to hold all the small ones that I'm showing you right now. I don't know for you, but it's much easier for me to work when I'm placing everything on the ground. So if you're not used to work with pallet wood, I will advise you to use the ground in order to dispose them. Here I'm gonna assemble everything and still use the wood glue and the nail gun in order to attach everything together. I will do the same for the long table boards and the small ones as well. Here I'm placing the small ones in order to see how they look like. Alright, and now as you can see we are all done with this part, but I would like to make it a little bit more creative. And to do so, I will be placing each of them back to the ground to then start the sanding. In order to have a smooth touch, I will advise you to use an 80 grit sandpaper, because with pallet wood it could be a little bit difficult to sand at the beginning. Then after that, blowing a little bit dust with my air pressure, to then finally move to my favorite wood burning method, but note that I will be burning only in between the different slats, which will give the design some kind of burned background. Then, to make it a little bit special, I will be using some type of sand design by first applying some wood glue, then putting on top some sand. And remember, we are in Guadeloupe. I've been showing you in La Douche the sand, and this is exactly the same one that we are using here. Some varnish on the burned surface, then moving to phase 3, sanding and working on the tabletop. As you may have seen, I didn't pass them through my planner, so now I have to sand quite a lot. But to be honest, for this type of design, I prefer to do that because I don't want to lose too much of the wood thickness. And as you just saw, I've been using also my router in order to round up a little bit the edges, to finish by applying a thin layer of transparent lacquer. Then here we are with a collapsing table bar, table beach bar, because this one is going on the beach. And if you're looking to make the same design, note that you will be able to add some bar stool on each side, which will make the usage a little bit more appropriate. Here you are, and I hope you like it. That was our project for this week. If you liked it, feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think. As usual, we are a big community of DIYers, so if you would like to share some project with us, feel free to do so. And again, if you are new to our community, feel free to subscribe just right here. Then click on the bell to receive a notification every time we are sharing new content with you.